Squeak, 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 it's Mouse Week. Wait a minute. Didn't we do this before? Well, squeak, 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 my kindergarten friends, and welcome back to Mouse Week, library class at home with Mr. S. Today we are going to read A Visitor for Bear, and I'm guessing from this little part here that the visitor for Bear is none other than a mouse. It was written by Bonnie Becker, and it was illustrated by Katie McDonald Denton. All right, A Visitor for Bear. All right, one morning Bear heard a tap, tap, tapping on his front door. When he opened the door, there was a mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. "No visitors allowed," Bear said, pointing to the sign. "Go away." Boy, that's a grumpy bear. He's got a sign that says no visitors allowed. He closed the door and went back to the business of making his breakfast. He set out 1 cup and 1 spoon. But when he opened the cupboard to get 1 bowl, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. You can see him in the bowl. It is a bowl of mouse.
Mr. S, you're losing your ear. There we go, much better.
Much better. "I told you to leave," cried Bear. "Perhaps we could have just 1 spot of tea," said the mouse. "Out," commanded Bear. "Most sorry," said the mouse. "I'll be going now." Bear showed him to the door and shut it firmly. Then he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the bread drawer for 1 slice of bread, there was the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Does Bear look happy about that? He does not. "Unbelievable," rumbled Bear. "Away with you! Vamoose!" "I do like a bit of cheese," said the mouse. Bear pointed a rigid claw towards the door. "Yes, then, here I go," said the mouse. "Farewell," and the mouse was whisked out the door. This time Bear shut the door very firmly and locked it tight. He locked the windows, too, for good measure. Do you think the mouse is going to get back in? I certainly hope he does. Then, once again, he went back to the business of making his breakfast. But when he opened the refrigerator to get 1 egg, who do you think is in there? Who do you think's in there? A hippo? A dandelion? An alligator? There was the mouse. Let's see, there he is, sticking out of the egg carton. Small and gray and bright-eyed, of course. "Be gone!" roared Bear. "A crackling fire?" ventured the mouse. "This is impossible, intolerable, insufferable!" cried Bear, shaking with anger and disbelief. "Terribly sorry," muttered the mouse. "Now you see me, now you don't. I'm gone." And the mouse looked very sorry indeed while he waited for Bear to unbolt the door and let him out again. This time, before he went back to the business of making his breakfast, Bear shut the door very, very firmly and locked it, boarded the windows shut tight, and stopped up the chimney. He even plugged the drain in the bathtub. Carefully, Bear set about the business of making his breakfast. He opened the cupboard. No mouse. He opened the bread drawer. Nothing. Whew. He opened the fridge. Mouse-free. Yes, indeed. He lifted the lid on the tea kettle, and there was the mouse, small and gray, and, well, you know the rest. Bear fell to the floor and wept. "I give up," he blubbered. "You win. I am undone." "So sorry," said Mouse, "but perhaps if I could have just a bit of cheese and a cup of tea, and do you think we could unstopper the chimney and have a nice fire?" Bear blew his nose with a loud honk. Okay, but then you must go, he sniffed. No visitors allowed. You have my word, said the mouse. So Bear unshuttered and unboarded the windows. He unlocked the door. He unstoppered the chimney. He unplugged the drain. He brought out 2 plates of cheese and 2 teacups, and he made a crackling fire in the fireplace for 2 sets of toes. The mouse warmed his feet and nibbled and sipped, and Bear did too. They sat for a long while. The clock in Bear's house ticked loudly, and there's the little mouse having his tea and cheese and bread. Bear cleared his throat. The mouse looked most attentive. No one had ever been most attentive to Bear. The fire is nice, Bear announced. It's lovely, said the mouse. No one had ever said Bear's fires were lovely. I can do a handstand, said Bear. Very impressive, said Mouse. Huh? What? I can't hear you.
It's because your ear is pointed down.
What?
Your ear, Mr. S.
Oh, that's better. Now I can totally hear you. Thank you, Mrs. Mouse. I mean, Mrs. S. Bear told a joke. The mouse laughed heartily. No one had ever laughed at Bear's jokes before. Bear began to think of another joke. The mouse set down his teacup. Bear quickly lifted the teacup. There's plenty more tea, he said. You know, it seems to me like Bear does not want this mouse to leave. So sorry, said the mouse. Most kind, but I must be on my way. Really, you needn't go, said Bear. I am off, said the mouse, springing up from his chair. Wait, said Bear. The mouse stepped out the door. Toodaloo, said the mouse. Don't go, wailed Bear, throwing his body across the path. But I gave you my word, said the mouse, pointing at the sign that said, no visitors. See, so Mouse is like, you didn't want me to stay. Oh, that, said Bear, pulling down the sign and tearing it up. That's for salesmen, not for friends. Not for friends? Asked the mouse, small and gray and bright-eyed. Bear nodded. The mouse's bright eyes glowed even brighter. Bear smiled. Do you like 1 lump or 2? Bear said most politely. I like 2, said the mouse, and Bear agreed. So there we go, boys and girls. What a lovely story. That grumpy bear certainly turned around, right? And became friends with that cute little mouse. Do you think they'll have breakfast and tea every day? Maybe. I mean, I would have tea with a mouse. Wait a minute, I am a mouse. Anyway, leave me a comment and tell me what you thought about this unusual friendship there on my Google Classroom page. And don't forget to click the turned in button after you've seen the video. And check back tomorrow for another great mouse story. Squeak, squeak, squeak!